There are other issues with nuclear generation. What to do with all the spent nuclear fuel? Well, years ago, there was an initiative called Yucca Mountain by the United States government. Yucca Mountain was going to be a suppository where they would collect all the nuclear fuel. They would take the nuclear fuel and store it in this mountain, and the plants wouldn't have to worry about it. Except many people became worried about the transportation of the fuel getting to the storage facility. What if terrorists would take over the train? It would be pretty devastating. But even if you can make the economics work for nuclear, what about safety? You can't talk about nuclear generation without talking about the safety of nuclear generation. So one of the things that's been done in nuclear is the behaviors. The NRC requires that all the power plants have a questionnaire to actually understand the culture, the safety culture of the power plant. And do you have the right safety behaviors? INPO, the Institute of Nuclear Power Operations, is the enforcement arm of the NRC, and they're very deep into the operation of every nuclear power plant in the United States to make sure that they do have this safety culture and that they are applying the lessons learned from other nuclear accidents. So there were 3 major nuclear power plant accidents. In 1979, 1979, 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania. The operators simply did not believe their indications. So they took some actions. They took the wrong actions. They made a bad situation even worse. In 1986, Chernobyl, Russia, there was an approved testing procedure that was done, and the operators deviated from the approved testing procedure, caused a surge and a reactor explosion. Many miles around Chernobyl are still useless today. And the last nuclear accident, Fukushima, where a tsunami flooded out the entire power plant and flooded out the diesel generators that were used as backup to keep the reactor covered and cooled. The reactor became exposed, started to melt down, and as hydrogen gas was released, many people were able to watch live the power plant explode. We need to understand each of those accidents and what can be done to prevent that. And that was done. Many of the modifications in the way the power plants were operated today took lessons from 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl. And even now, the NRC is weighing and understanding options and lessons learned from the Fukushima accident. Once those lessons have been applied and learned, I do believe that nuclear power generation can be made safer. So nuclear power plants have 0 emissions. They'll greatly decrease the amount of CO2 emissions and affecting the ozone layer, and would have an adverse effect on minimizing climate change. Many people believe that there's been a large number of deaths due to the accidents at nuclear power plant. That number just simply isn't true. No one died at 3 Mile Island, and the sum of the number of deaths between Chernobyl and Fukushima are less than 10. Can you stand to see 110-degree summers and minus 20-degree winters? Can you stand to see areas that once flourished, barren wastelands, deserts? Can you stand to see water levels rise to the point of eroding and taking away beaches? These are all inevitable if we do nothing for climate change. I do believe that nuclear power generation can be part of that solution. And I do believe that nuclear generation is right for America. Thank you.